If you want to attract wealth and abundance, one thing that you really have to get over is fear of discomfort and fear of expansion. So what do I mean by this? Realistically, to attract wealth and abundance, you have to expand your self-identity and your self-concept. But this makes everybody so uncomfortable. When I talk about this, you might start to feel yourself get uncomfortable with the idea. So if you ever hear people talk about invest in yourself, expand your knowledge, expand your resume, and if that idea makes you feel uncomfortable because it sounds like a lot of work and you don't really feel like doing any of that, and you kind of shy away from that, that's a sign that you might be uncomfortable with the idea of expansion. And it is uncomfortable. We don't like change. We don't tend to want to grow and expand even when we think we do. When it comes to actually doing it, it's uncomfortable. It feels like a lot of work. But that's really just your perception of it, and this always happens. You've probably experienced this before where you thought about the idea of change and it made you uncomfortable, but when the actual change came and when it actually happened, you realize it wasn't that bad, or you realize it was actually so much better than what you were used to. Maybe you're in like a brand new relationship and it's so much better than the one that you were in before. Maybe you got a new job and it's so much better than your previous job. But when you look back to the moment before you actually took on something new, you probably remember feelings of discomfort and feeling afraid and not wanting to really do it. But it's so important to invest in yourself and to grow from within, because that's really how you get your net worth to expand and grow. When you change who you are, when you change your identity, your reality will change to reflect that, because your reality is a manifestation of your identity. But how do you actually start to make these changes? How do you actually build confidence? How do you actually grow as a person? And everyone loves this in manifestation, but the idea of acting as if or being as if, this idea of like fake it till you make it. But if you think about it, you actually do this already. You practice this in your own life so much already. When you write a resume, really you're acting as if. When you show up to a job interview and say you have a bunch of experience in something that you maybe really don't, you're already acting as if you're presenting yourself to these people, to this situation. You're presenting a different version of you. So really tapping into that and allowing yourself to be the version of you that you actually want to be, and not just so you get what you want, but just because it is who you are and it is what you prefer. So something that I've struggled with is weight loss, and especially on vacations I really struggle, because I would like go on a diet, lose a bunch of weight before the vacation, and then on vacation I would allow myself to be who I really am and eat how I actually want to eat, and just eat like way too much food. You guys, I was eating like it was a full-time job, like I was clocking in to eat or something. And I really thought that that's who I was, and that was the identity that I had held on to, and it just made no sense. And so of course on vacation I would gain so much weight because I was allowing myself to just eat like an insane amount of food. And I held on to this identity for years. But looking back now and realizing that that was actually so damaging, because I really had this belief that who you are is who you are and your identity doesn't change. You are who you are. But if you really think about it, your identity and who you are is constantly changing. Not only mentally, but physically. Your body, your cells kind of get renewed every 7 years. You're literally a brand new person every 7 years. And every day, your thoughts and your beliefs change slightly. When you get new information, your beliefs might change slightly. When there are new scientific discoveries, your beliefs will change. You know, there were diseases that were kind of like a death sentence a few years ago, and now there's treatments and there's cures. So when you learn this new information, you no longer believe that those diseases are death sentences. You know, and you realize that they're actually treatable now. So it's the same thing with your identity. It's constantly changing, but you just might not realize it. If you think back 5 years or 10 years ago, you'll realize that you were so much different than you are right now, and that your identity is truly changing. So change it into what you actually want to be. And this is physical as well, you guys. So for example, if you crave a lot of sugar, if you crave a lot of carbs, that's probably because that's what you always eat. But if you start eating healthy for a while, literally like 21 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you will actually start to notice that you don't crave those things anymore. For example, I used to love chips. I would eat like a whole family size bag of chips as my dinner. And I thought that was so cute and fun. And I was like, this is amazing. And I would crave chips all the time, like really like fully addicted to chips. But now that I'm eating like more protein and eating healthier foods, I never crave chips anymore. I don't ever have that craving. Your body will physically change as well to match this new identity. And another one that is funny is if you start to eat less, because again, I used to think I needed like an insane amount of food in order to be full. And that becomes true if that is what you practice, because your stomach will stretch if you eat a ton of food. And then you will actually need that much food in order to be full. But if you kind of start to eat less and eat like a more normal amount of food, which is what I did, then your stomach will shrink and you won't actually need an insane amount of food in order to feel full. So your identity and your physical reality can both change. You just have to kind of allow it to. You have to like tap into this new identity and allow yourself to actually embody it and embody the lifestyle of what you want, and then everything around you will change in order to match what you want. Okay, that's it for today's little video. I hope that you found value in it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!